Ragnarok is often referred to as the Twilight of the Gods. It's a prophesized war that signals the destruction and rebirth of the 9 realms. This grand cosmic event unfolds amidst chaos and devastation as gods and giants clash in an epic struggle for supremacy. Among the central figures, I present to you Odin, the wise and mighty Allfather who tirelessly prepares the gods for the looming conflict. Thor, the god of thunder, stands resolute, wielding his legendary hammer, Mjolnir, ready to defend Asgard from any threat. Loki, the enigmatic trickster, with his loyalties shifting like the tides. Then we have Fenrir, the monstrous wolf whose unbound fury threatens to devour the world. Ragnarok, a cosmic battle that engulfs the realms and brings forth the end of an era. This is a legendary conflict where gods and giants clash in a struggle for the fate of the world. Ragnarok is also known as the Doom of the Gods. It's the final battle prophesized in Norse mythology. It foretells the destruction and rebirth of the world. It's a cyclical process where chaos and renewal are intertwined. But the gods are not the only forces at play. From the icy depths rises Jormungandr, the massive world serpent, who has his entire body coiled around the realms. And finally, Surt, the fire giant, emerges from the fiery depths of Muspelheim, his flaming sword ablaze and ready to engulf the worlds in inferno. So according to Norse mythology, the world will end at Ragnarok, a time of great destruction. The gods will wage a final battle with giants and other evil forces. If my pronunciations are off, please forgive me, but it starts with Fimbulvetr, or the Great Winter. The skies will darken, the sun will disappear, the world will grow cold and unable to support life, which then causes the gods to battle each other. The demise of the gods is followed by the demise of the cosmos that they created. The sun turns black, the earth sinks into the sea, smoke and flames lick the sky itself. But Ragnarok has 2 parts, and the second involves rebirth. The earth arises from the sea, and a new generation of gods inhabit it. At first, you would think that Ragnarok, the story itself, would be rather gloomy, but instead the gods go out in glory. So, Ragnarok is beyond fascinating. The last time I really looked into it, I was like a teenager, and it was mostly just about the deities, because that's what I was interested in. A coworker of mine, Shannon, let me borrow a couple books. I can't put this one down. Norse Myths, Martin Darty. So what's so fascinating about Ragnarok is the duality behind it, meaning 2 opposing forces. Good, evil. You'll see that a lot where the dragon or the sea monster will be called Chaos throughout the ancient world. And that's been talked about forever, where Chaos actually overcomes the will of good. It's Judgment Day. So let's get into it. The battle destroys the world, the gods die, and worst of all, they were forewarned of it. But it cannot alter their fate. Yet there is more to it than that. For one thing, the Twilight of the Gods, as the end of the world as it's sometimes called, provides a fitting end to the stories of the gods. Just as Norse warriors hope to meet a glorious end in battle and earn a place in Valhalla, the tale of the great warrior god Thor should not end in old age and sickness. Instead, the gods meet a glorious end defending their world against the forces of Utgard, who have come to return it to a state of chaos uninhabitable by mortals. Thor dies, but only after defeating the giant serpent Jormungandr. He lives long enough to know he has won his greatest victory and that those sheltering behind him are safe. To the Norse mindset, there could be no better way to go. Likewise, dutiful and steadfast, Heimdall and treacherous Loki slay one another. Odin is killed by the wolf Fenrir, but the Allfather is immediately avenged by his son. The tales of the Norse gods are big stories, and the Battle of Ragnarok provides a fitting end to them. The gods, all but Loki, are true to their nature to the very end, fighting and dying to protect the world that they made. Because of this, Ragnarok is not the end. The fire Jotnar burned Asgard and break the world. Monsters run amok, causing more chaos and destruction. The world is ruined and sinks into the sea. Even Yggdrasil is set on fire. But afterward, there are survivors, some of the gods and the mortal heroes from Valhalla, who came through the battle alive, and thus earned themselves a place in the new creation. The last two mortal humans are sheltered by Yggdrasil, and the world rises up out of the sea, made anew. They take their place in the new creation. See, most people think of Ragnarok as the battle at the end of everything, but in fact, it is the catastrophic act of destruction needed to renew the world. As the slaying of Ymir permitted the creation of the world in the first place, Ragnarok allows its ills to be swept away and replaced with something fresh, new, and wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Shannon for the books. I would appreciate it so much if you would hit the like button, give me a subscribe. I promise to bring you a lot more great content. Hey, it's my cat. Oh. What are you doing, Harley? Huh? Ragnarok is the cataclysmic destruction of the cosmos and everything in it, even the gods. The story of Ragnarok naturally comes at the very end. For the Vikings, Ragnarok was a prophecy of what was to come at some unspecified and unknown time in the future. They were very, very highly intelligent in the ancient world. So when you take a look at something like Norse mythology, and then today you'll say, obviously it was fantasy or whatever. It was written in the Zodiac, for one. For two, it had a really deep meaning. All their stories, all those ancient legends have a very, very deeply rooted human origin to them. So when they say, they couldn't read or write, stories like this kind of prove that whole idea wrong. They didn't need 25 different words put together in a sentence to portray an idea. Sometimes it could be a symbol, a marking, a figure. We need to pay more attention to what the ancients were telling us. These weren't just stories to rile up warriors to go to war for a cause that has nothing to do with them. Although I'm sure that happened, that has been known to happen. Look at the religions of the world today. Think of the battles over that. And I'm not anti-religious. I am religious to my bones, to my core, because I understand it. So I think we owe ancient man that same sort of respect, and not just to look down on them. No, they didn't have iPhones and computers. But when you look back at the ancient world, they had wonders. Wondrous things. Things I still can't wrap my head around. But once you start understanding what they're saying, the more you'll start understanding our world. That concludes Ragnarok. I hope you all go back and look into this and learn some of these epics and poems. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share this out. I'll catch you all in the next one.